Last time we learned what AI is. A machine that learns from examples. But that one word learns hides a mystery. A machine has no brain, no teacher, no understanding. So how does it learn anything at all? Today we open the box and watch it happen. Step by step. No math, I promise. There are two completely different moments in every AI's life. Mix them up and nothing makes sense. Think about your own school years. For years you studied, slowly, painfully building knowledge. Then on exam day you answered questions in minutes, using everything you'd learned. A machine lives those exact same two lives. The first is called training. This is the long, slow, expensive part. The machine studies millions of examples, sometimes for weeks, on giant computers, slowly getting better. The second life is called inference. That's the exam. When you ask ChatGPT something and it replies in seconds, that's inference. It isn't learning from you. It already studied. It's just sitting the exam over and over. And here's what surprises people. The moment training ends, the machine stops learning. Frozen. The version answering you today knows exactly what it knew the day its schooling finished. Training is school. Inference is exam day. And this student never goes back to class. An AI is only as smart as the flashcards it studied. And it studies them by the billion. Picture the world's biggest stack of flashcards. On the front of each, a question. On the back, the answer. Front, a photo. Back, the word cat. That little pair, the example and its answer, is called training data. Modern AI flips through these by the billion. Photos paired with what's in them. Sentences paired with the word that comes next. Questions paired with good answers. Card after card, billions of times, the machine quietly notices patterns. Cats have pointy ears. This word usually follows that one. Polite answers tend to look like this. Nobody writes these rules down. The machine digs them out by itself, simply by drowning in examples. Which is why data is everything. Brilliant flashcards teach brilliance. Garbage flashcards teach garbage. The machine never doubts its cards. Trust them completely. Here's the strange part. AI doesn't learn from being right. It learns from being wrong. Picture throwing darts blindfolded. Your first throw misses badly. A friend says too far left. So you adjust just a little and throw again. Still off but closer. Adjust again. Throw again. After thousands of throws, you're hitting the center without ever seeing it. That, almost exactly, is how a machine learns. At the start it guesses randomly. Shown a cat, it might confidently answer banana. So we measure how wrong it was and nudge its inner settings just slightly toward the right answer. One example, one tiny nudge. Then another. And another. Millions of corrections, each one far too small to notice on its own. No single nudge teaches it anything. But stacked together across millions of examples, those nudges slowly sculpt a machine that knows a cat from a banana. Learning, it turns out, is just being wrong by a little less every single time. When people say an AI model, what is that, actually? It's smaller and stranger than you'd think. After all that studying, all those nudges, where does the knowledge end up? Not in a database of facts. Not in a giant folder holding every example, those get thrown away. What's left is called a model. And a model is just a huge list of numbers. Millions, sometimes billions of them. Each number is one of those inner settings we kept nudging. Together, they hold everything the machine learned, squeezed into pure numbers. Think of a student's brain on graduation day. The textbooks are gone. The lectures are over. What remains is a trained mind. When you download an AI model, you're not getting the internet it studied. You're getting the leftover wisdom. Just the numbers that survived all that studying. That quiet file of numbers is the entire product. There are two ways to learn. One needs a human teacher. The other taught AI to read the entire internet. First way, learning with an answer key. Every flashcard has the correct label on the back, written by a person. This photo is a cat. This email is spam. The machine guesses, checks the answer, corrects itself. Clear but slow because humans must label every single card. Experts call this supervised learning. The second way is cleverer. What if the data could label itself? Take any sentence from the internet. Hide the last word. Ask the machine to guess it. The answer was already there, you simply covered it up. Suddenly every sentence ever written becomes a free flashcard, with no human needed. This is how language models swallowed the internet. Trillions of sentences, each one quietly testing the machine on its own next word. They didn't wait for teachers. They turned all of human writing into one endless self-marking exam. Why does every AI company chase data like it's gold? Because of the most insultingly simple idea in the whole field. For decades, scientists hunted for one clever trick to make machines smart. Then they found something almost embarrassing. Just add more. More examples. More numbers in the model. More computing time. And it kept getting better and better and better. A student who does 10 practice exams is okay. One who does 10,000 starts spotting patterns nobody taught them. Machines are the same but with endless patience. Show a model a little text, it writes clumsy sentences. Show it the whole internet and it writes poetry, code, and arguments. Same method, just more. This single idea that sheer scale brings brand new abilities is why AI suddenly leapt forward. Nobody built a magic brain. They just kept making the flashcard pile bigger, and the machine bigger, until something remarkable woke up inside the numbers. AI has no opinions of its own, which is exactly why it can be so unfair. A machine learns only from its flashcards. It has no values, no judgment, no way to know whether its examples were fair. So it copies whatever it's shown, flaws and all. Train a hiring tool on a company's past choices, and if those choices quietly favored one kind of person, the machine learns that favoritism and calls it a pattern. It isn't being cruel. It's being obedient. Found the pattern in the data exactly as built to. There's a phrase for this. Bias in, bias out. The machine is a mirror. Show it fair, balanced examples and it reflects fairness. Show it a skewed slice of the world, and it reflects that skew confidently at full scale. Which is why choosing the flashcards is one of the most human decisions in all of AI. The machine won't fix our mistakes. It multiplies them. Last question. When you teach ChatGPT something mid-chat, does it actually learn it? The answer surprises everyone. You correct it. Says you're right, sorry. So it learns surely? Actually no. Remember, after training the model is frozen. Those millions of numbers do not change while you chat. What's really happening is more like a notepad. During your conversation it jots your words on a little scratch pad, and reads them back each time you speak. That's why it seems to remember within a chat. But close the window and the notepad is wiped clean. Tomorrow it's the same frozen graduate, with no memory of you at all. Real learning, actually changing those numbers, only happens when engineers run training again to build a whole new version. So let's lock in what you now know. Training is the long study. Inference is exam day. The machine learns from billions of flashcards by making mistakes, and nudging itself a little less wrong each time. All that wisdom becomes a file of numbers, a model. More data makes it smarter, but its data's bias becomes its bias. And once trained, it's frozen, carrying only a notepad. You now understand how machines learn, something most people who use AI every day have never been told. Next time we step inside the artificial brain itself. The neural network. What is it, really? See you there.